if you're filling out a bracket, who do you like to win the men's and women's tournaments?
Well, I think Bama has the best team. They're an incredible defensive team. And really the off-field distractions haven't seemed to really bother them a whole lot. I mean, they stomped A&M in the SEC championship game. But I'm going to say a dark horse is Marquette. They've been a bit under the radar. Shaka Smart, definitely in contention for National Coach of the Year, I'd say, along with Jerome Tang at K-State. I mean, not much was expected of them. Then they played Baylor early in the year, blew them off the court in Milwaukee by 26 points. And they've been really good. Just, I wouldn't say ran through the Big East, but, won most of their games there. I think that's a dark horse pick. Houston, Marcus Sasser is banged up. We'll see how well he's going to do.
Yeah, a lot of people are not even picking Houston to get to the Final Four.
Yeah, I think Kansas, they just don't seem to have enough depth like they've had, like last year's team. Purdue, I think, another number one seed. Zach Edey, probably the best player in the country. But I don't know if they have the all-around team to win it. So I'm going to pick Marquette as a dark horse choice. As far as the women, South Carolina, hard to pick against them.
Yeah, no doubt. I'll start with the women right there and just agree with you. I mean, we've talked a lot this season about the parity in women's basketball, and I completely stand by that. I think, just 1-68, this may be as bunched as the field has ever been. But South Carolina is the best team. They're undefeated for a reason. That's not to say they won't be pushed or anything like that. I think they will be pushed. But they're really good. And they're the favorite. They can be beat, but I like their chances of finishing off an undefeated season. As far as the men, I mean, you broke it down, but I kind of do like Kansas. And part of it is, I agree with you that they are a different team and maybe not as deep as last year, but I really think they may be as tough as last year, if not tougher, just because of the way that, like, for example, Bill Self has this, procedure hospital, he's obviously ill and out for the Big 12 tournament last week. And that, I think, would be a distraction that a lot of teams would not be able to withstand. And yet they played pretty well in the Big 12 tournament. Now they ended up getting beat by Texas in the championship game, but I kind of admired the way that they, rallied together. And it just seems like, every time that somebody wrote them off this year, Baylor or Texas, might win. Well, then Kansas would run off and get a big win. So that's just my initial analysis. I haven't really broken the bracket down that closely, but yeah, and that of course would be back-to-back national championships. It would also be 3 straight for the Big 12. It certainly wouldn't surprise me to see a Big 12 team win it, even though, maybe those Big 12 teams this year are like 5 through 10 of the top 10 or whatever, you know what I mean? Right. I think that they're all going to be battle tested just because of the conference, right?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I mean, I think Texas has a shot. They're playing well. I think Rodney Terry's done a pretty remarkable job of keeping that team together after, the Chris Beard incident earlier this year. Yeah,
let me say this about Rodney Terry. I don't know what Texas's plan is. They have not signed him yet or whatever?
No, they haven't. He's interim still.
I would say, man, I know he's not your typical Texas hire because Texas almost always, whatever the sport is, goes for kind of the big name. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Oh, for sure.
Shaka Smart, Chris Beard, in football, Tom Herman or whoever. To me, Rodney Terry is not that big name, but he may be the best fit. Like you said, what he's done in a weird situation. I mean, they've kind of almost played better under him than they did under Beard.
Yeah, I think he's a real players coach. I've known him since mid '90s when he was on Harry Miller's staff. I can see how he at Baylor. I can see how he would relate well to players, and he's known as a really good recruiter. If he can keep his staff together, it looks like they've got a good staff there too, so that's important. But yeah, I think they should just go ahead and make him the permanent guy.